Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I've got an announcement today. This is it. This is my last flight with the DJI Mavic 3. You know, I've often said that this is the best drone that I've ever owned, and I mean it, but it's going away. I sold it. So this is the last flight. We're going to take one last flight with this guy today, and I'm going to take you guys along with me. I'm at Julius Kleiner Park. I would have liked to have gone out to someplace like the Snake River Canyon or something like that. However, the weather, it's cloudy today and it's about 50 degrees, so you know the weather's not the greatest. Wouldn't have been that great of a view, so we're just going to do this final flight right here at the park. We'll go over some of the features of this drone and some of the things that I absolutely love about it and that I am going to miss. Let's quit messing around. Let's get this drone in the air. Okay, so I'm using the RCN1 controller. I previously had this bound. I've got an RC Pro, but I bound it back to the RCN1 controller that came with it for this flight. So the first thing we're going to want to do here is go over the safety menu in bypass mode. We're in normal, not the Nifty mode. The Nifty mode simply slows down APAS a little bit, makes it not as aggressive. But max altitude 120 meters, that's max legal, no limit. And I have advanced RTH on. That's how the drone will. The cool thing, the Mavic 3 does that. Instead of staying at its return to home height, because it has obstacle avoidance, it kind of lands like an airplane, descends as it comes in. 35 meters is what I've got the return to home altitude at, which is great for where we're at here. It's a windy day here. I'm going to say gusts probably 10 or 12 miles an hour. I will have already shown you UAV forecast. In any case, you know, IMU is normal, compass is normal. We can look at the battery here. Battery is in good shape. So no reason not to take off. Let's go ahead and shoot in 4K 60. That's the advantage of this drone. I am going to start recording right now. Boom. And let's go ahead and let's do an auto takeoff. And then we'll go, I'll get out of the way so you can see it. Then we'll go straight up from there. Get the drone 7 meters in the high, and we'll try then for a precision landing as well. So let's take off. And there's that drone. Before I move off, I'm going to go straight up, about 7 meters high. That's about it. We hit it right on the nose. So it's got a good look at its landing pad, so we can bring it back down now, and we will get a look at the drone. Doggone, I couldn't talk there for a second. So there's the drone, and we've got APAS on, which is a good thing. I'm going to double check and make sure. Always good to double check this stuff. Yeah, bypass, and yeah, so everything is on. So I'm going to bring this guy straight forward, and you'll watch it go around me. Really, this thing is so good at this kind of stuff. 360 obstacle avoidance, and you saw it lift up there and go right over the top of me. And we'll bring it back. That's the other thing about this drone is the performance. It is a very responsive product. So let's try that again. I'm going to push the drone. I'm going to push it slowly forward now, and let's see what it does. And you see it rising up, and then it just moves around me. So we can try that in Nifty mode as well, but Nifty mode is a little bit nerve-wracking because it doesn't it doesn't respond as fast in Nifty mode, and that is to allow it to be more cinematic. So let's kick it into Nifty mode here, and yeah, it's even given us Nifty bypass avoids obstacles with more subtle attitude change and flies more smoothly, but there's an increased chance of collision. So that's something that you bear in mind if you put it in Nifty mode. So I'm not going to push that stick real hard, but you can see it moved around me, but it didn't make that big move, and it was a lot closer to me. You know, it was within about a foot of me when it came in. Let's try that one more time, demonstrate that Nifty mode. And I see I still have the menu there up on the screen. Let me drop the camera down here just a little. Let's do Nifty mode one more time. And you see it, this time it went around the other side of me. And in fact, I'm going to stand in front of the camera this time. Let's try that one more time, because you guys can't see where I'm standing here. So you'll be able to see me better right now, and let's try that one more time. I'm going to, I've got the drone pointed straight at me, and I'm going to ease that throttle forward, and let's see which way it goes around. This time it's going around the left, and it's directly under that tree now. But anyway, so you get the idea. I'm going to put it back into regular bypass mode here, and we still haven't done our Dronie yet, so we need to do that. Bring the drone back over. That gives you, in fact, I'm going to turn obstacle avoidance off here for a second, and I'm going to bring the drone in close to the camera so that you can kind of get a good look at the Mavic 3 in action here. This is still the preeminent, and I'm moving the camera over here a little bit. This is the preeminent consumer drone, and we have, you know, I can bring it right in and it's steady as a rock. Obstacle avoidance is off right now, but I can rock it, and you can see how that gimbal operates, how it keeps that camera steady. Now as I'm going to pull the stick back here, and you'll see it drop the camera. That's keeping that camera steady. And then as I bring it forward, it'll push that camera up to the nose. So you can see that there. But anyway, enough of that. I just wanted to, you know, I like demonstrating how that works. I know there's a lot of people that watch these videos and they're new and they've never, they haven't seen that kind of thing, how that gimbal keeps the camera perfectly steady. So what we haven't done yet is our Dronie that I do on all my videos. So yeah, I put bypass back on, just double checking to make sure I turned obstacle avoidance back on. And you can see the drone is kind of squawking, it's awful close to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our Dronie right now. So reverse and up now, reverse and up. And this drone is a performer, man. Look at that baby go. I mean, it is up in the sky and gone in no time. That is what a Mavic 3 does for you that no other drone. I'm a big fan of drones like the DJI Air 2S, etc. This is what a Mavic 3 will do for you. So you can see our overcast skies. The sun is out here on me here for just a second. The grass is starting to green up a little bit, but I'm telling you, it's been so cold that the trees don't even hardly have any buds on them. It's been a weird spring. Just Sunday, we had temperatures in the high 70s, maybe might have even hit 80, but today it's just in the 50s again. So that's kind of springtime weather for you. So so another thing that I like to do with this drone, or anytime I'm out here at the park, is get down here above the ponds. And again, we are in normal mode, but I'll probably get in cine mode as we get closer here. But we're going to do a little bit of an orbit around that fountain there. So one of the things I want to show you, let's get down here low. This is typically a fountain, but for whatever reason they have it off. I'm not sure why that's off. And we got some ducks down there, so we're not going to get too carried away. We don't want to scare those guys up. But let's go, yeah, we're only 11 meters high, so that's about, I don't know, but we're about 35, 36 feet high, something like that. So let's get up to the fountain here, the one that's going. And I believe the primary reasons they put these in here is to aerate this pond. They put fish in these ponds, etc. So let's get a little closer, and I'm going to throw this guy in cine mode, and let's just do an orbit around this fountain here. And I'm doing that by just pulling the sticks directly apart. You're yawing and banking the drone at the same time, getting that circular motion. And yeah, I'm off a little bit, but we're basically, I'm actually kind of moving in on the fountain just a little bit. I'm going to back it up slightly as I go, pull that stick down, the right stick, to get a little further away. I wouldn't want to get in that spray right there. But yeah, the wind's kind of going that direction. But the precision control that this drone gives you is awesome. So let's pick that camera back up. I'm just going to do some of my favorite tricks that I always do with this drone. We're going to go back in normal mode. Let's grab a little more altitude. We don't need to get too high here. There's not a lot of people in the park, so it's kind of a good time to be doing this. So this is kind of the central square of the park, and you can kind of, without leaves on the trees, you can kind of see it a little bit more. That's Julius Kleiner right there in the middle of the park, that statue right there. And I'm pretty sure we're high enough to miss these branches, but you know, they will reach out and touch you a little bit, so you got to be careful. You'll see often a lot of people fishing off of this area right here. And you know, one of the things that, well, let me turn around so you can kind of see the view of the park, or the pond from here. One of the things that I always think is really cool is that the city of Meridian stocks these ponds with fish, and I love seeing kids fishing out here. What I think is kind of weird is when you see you know, middle-aged men coming out here with all their fancy fishing gear and stuff like that. And I'm going, you know, leave those fish that they stocked in here for the kids. Give them some excitement. You know, when you're an adult, hey, you can go out to the river or to the reservoir or something like that to fish. Leave this stuff for the kids, but that's just me. Okay, so this is the famous, here's the famous band shell. And I always mention my friend Mike Wright when I see this. He's an architect, and he marvels at how they pointed this directly towards the west, so that the sun is always in the performer's eyes when they're working at this band shell. There's one of 3 sculptures here at the park. They're right below us. And here's the band shell. Let's see if we can move around here a little bit and pick it up. And the cool thing about this Mavic 3 is it's so easy to do these kind of moves. And you know, the famous pickleball courts, I don't see anybody out there playing today. But yeah, that's we watched them build those and kind of guessed as they were putting those all together. And you can see, I mean, it's still, the grass is still gray. Here we are in April, and you know, mid-April, and you'd think all this stuff would be pretty green by now. So I don't know. Let's hope that changes. And it will, of course. I see somebody walking by there, so we're going to be careful. But I kind of want to get down here and show you a little bit more of the band shell. And this band shell is actually pretty cool. And they put those tent structures up there to keep the sun out of the performer's eyes, because it literally faces due west. So let's get down here low so you can kind of see it here. And yeah, right there. We can probably even get a little lower than that so you can see right into the band shell. A little bit lower. Okay, I'm going to get up a little. I'm going to go ahead and take off. What I wouldn't want is somebody to walk up to that drone and say, hey, look, a drone, let's grab it. So, okay, let's head on over to the other side of the park, and maybe we'll try some of the features of this drone. One of the features you're looking at right now is the battery time. You know, how long have we been? We've been flying for 12 minutes, or recording for 12 minutes. We're only down to 66% battery. I think that's phenomenal. So one of the big things about this drone is that it has the telephoto camera on there. So I'm going to point it directly right in front of us. Here is a big picnic shelter at the park. and I'm going to show you how we can zoom in on that. And in fact, I don't think I can do that. I think I have to stop recording and put it into zoom mode. So we're going to. Okay, folks, so you're going to see a little skip in the battery percentage there because I did this zoom demonstration once and I realized I wasn't recording, so we're going to start over. I'm holding the function button down on the RCN1 controller and using the scroll wheel to zoom in. So let's slowly zoom in on that picnic shelter. There is 1.8. Let's see if we can get to 2 exactly. There's 2 by. Let's move it up to 3 by. There is 2.9, there's 3 by zoom, and let me center up a little bit more. I want to center right on that picnic shelter there, and I'm going to show you, we're going to get all the way up to 28 by zoom. So we're on the Micro Four Thirds sensor now, the bottom camera, and there's 4 by. That is the maximum that you can zoom with that Micro Four Thirds sensor, at least when shooting in 4K. So now let's what we're going to do now is as I zoom further, it's going to skip right up to 7 by, and it's going to automatically switch to that upper camera, the 7 by telephoto. So there it is. I overshot it a little bit, and let me get zoomed right in there. Let me back it off, and let's just see if I want to see if I can get right. Whoop. See, it went back to 4. There's 7 by right there. So that's the exact 7 by zoom. And then let's zoom in, and we'll show you the power of 28 by zoom on this drone. And that is one of the coolest things about the Mavic 3 is the ability to get in up close. Now what you're going to notice is, particularly with this upper camera, the quality is not going to be as good. There we are at 28 by zoom. So you're going to see some graininess and so forth. But, you know, if I'm looking at trying to see if there's anybody under that picnic shelter, I can certainly see it from here. So pretty cool thing about the Mavic 3. That's one of the main features of this drone. Okay, so let's back it off. Let's go back out. Let's slowly back out, and you'll see it when it gets to 7. It'll skip to 4, and we'll be back on that. Oh, I accidentally touched the stick there. Now we're back on that Micro Four Thirds sensor, and we'll keep backing it up here till we get back to 1 by, and that'll give you an appreciation as to how far away from that picnic shelter we were, and we zoomed right in on it. So the other cool thing that you can do, you know, this drone has, I'm just trying to think of other things that I can demonstrate. It has amazing tracking. I don't think we're going to mess with that today, but it will track you. And with APAS, it'll go around. There was a gull right there coming at us. It'll go around about anything. So so let's see. Actually, let's do a master shot, and let's see if we can set this fountain as our point of interest. And we are still in explore mode, I realize, and I guess that won't make any difference. Let's go ahead and, yeah, enable it. Yeah, so you can't do it. You can't do it in explore mode. So I need to stop recording, go back out into regular video mode, normal, and so I don't forget, I'm going to start recording again. There we go, we're recording. And then let's, I'm fairly high up because I want to kind of be away from folks here, but we'll bring it in. We'll bring it in here a little bit, get centered up on this guy, and let's draw a point of interest right there. And we've got it. And then I'm going to. In fact, I have to stop recording again. You know what? I messed that up. I actually didn't. When I stopped recording, I could have gone right into master shots. So. Stop recording again, and then let's go into master shots right there, and I have to set that point of interest again. I apologize about that. We will do that one more time. And down here at the bottom, I've shown this before, where you can set the various aspects of master shots. You can go large, length, large, height. I think you can go small, medium, and large. We're going to leave it all on large here, just how it is. It'll take it 3 minutes to do it. We're going to hit start, and it'll count down. And I see it just kind of wandering a little bit, but yeah, adjusting the aircraft position. I noticed it kind of wandered there a little bit. But so now, yeah, you can see the point of interest there on the screen recording, and it's backing up, doing a Dronie. The drone is doing its thing in automated flight. And one of the coolest things about the Mavic 3 is that you have obstacle avoidance. You have 360-degree obstacle avoidance, so you have confidence that it's not going to fly sideways into something. Doing the circle far, and in this case it shows me on the map, it shows me exactly what it's going to do here. So pitch up and fly forward. You can see where we're at right now, kind of above the big pond. Pitch up and fly forward, and gets that look at that point of interest. Now it's going to do a circle. It's doing that with the zoom. That's not the drone that's flying in. It's actually zooming in to get that close circle. In fact, you can see the flight path on the map on the bottom left. And now it's going to do a circle medium. Starts back the other direction. And I don't know, it's actually flying in closer there. It's kind of hard to tell how much of it does with the zoom capabilities and how much with actually flying the drone. And there's a rocket. And by the way, you can do this with the Mini 3 Pro and the Air 2S as well. It's just that you have a little more confidence with the Mavic 3 because of that 360 obstacle avoidance. And we're getting down on battery now. We're down to about 36% battery. We are almost done with this master shot. And there it does the reveal, and you're looking at the apartments that are kind of right across and part of the shopping center that's right across from this park. And it's complete. It'll return to its original location. So we'll let it do that, and then we'll go back in and we'll start recording again. And I'll show you one of my favorite features. We're down to about 35% battery, so we're not going to mess around here. So it's back to its original spot, I thought, returning. That you'll see that button on the right turn green. Yeah, there it did. So it's back to start, and it even gives us a little preview of a video that it put together down below. So we're going to go back in, and we're going to go back into video mode, and we're going to go into normal video, start recording, and we're recording again. And I do want to show you, before we bring the drone back in, I want to show you how you can, the focus track suite on this guy and some of the things you can do with it. Spotlight mode to me is just amazing. So I'm going to fly over to this other sculpture over here that's on the other end of the park. And I am going to put a point of interest right at the base of the sculpture here. See if I can do that. Selected area is too small, so there we go. So we got a point of interest, and I'm in spotlight mode, and I'm gonna fly forward here, and you're gonna see I am just using the sticks. It's gonna keep the camera right on that point of interest no matter what I do, and that's me moving the just with the I'm just using the right stick right now. And it's keeping the camera. I am not touching the gimbal. It's keeping the camera right on that point of interest. So you can literally fly with just the sticks and not worry about placing the camera. It will stay right on your point of interest. I'm going to move forward here. Let's just move right over the top here, and let's see what it does. And it's pointing the camera down. See what happens as I get over the top. Yeah, and it's just going to flip around the other way. So let's reverse. And yeah, I mean it is a phenomenal thing. So let's say we have that same point of interest in spotlight mode. Let's hit POI there, and I'm going to click go, and it's going to do an orbit, and in this case it's counterclockwise, and I'm going to speed it way up here. I've got that speed slider on the screen there. Speed it up and it will do a perfect orbit around point of interest. Active track, if I click on that active track button, if we had something moving, it would, I could set a point of interest on a moving object and it would follow it. So 26% battery. Let's stop right there. Let's get out of that mode. I'm picking the camera up, and let's do our return to home. Let's see if we can get a precision landing. I am going to do, in fact, I'm going to hit the button on the RC, on the controller, on the RC-N1 controller, holding it down. It took that command, and the drone is already at 44 meters. So it's not going to, it didn't have to raise because I had the return to home set at 35 meters. And, but what you'll see as it gets closer, it will automatically start to descend, which I think is really cool. It comes in like an airplane, and it takes advantage of its obstacle avoidance sensors to do that. It's not going to run into anything. I'm dropping the gimbal down as we come back so you guys can see where that landing pad is. And you're going to see the height start to drop here. Well, not so much. Yeah, I don't know. It's not really dropping. Yeah, now it is. Yeah, you can see that height dropping even before it's over the top of us. And that's what they mean. I can hear the drone. I've got the gimbal dropped straight down. Let's see if we get that precision landing. I'm going to stand in front of the drone here. Let's see how close it gets to the pad. It's already pretty close, and it'll pick up the camera here. Yeah, it's right over the pad. There, it picked up the camera. It's looking at me, and it's right over the top of the pad, so it's going to hit it. I think we may be right smack dab in the H. Yeah, we are right on the H. Okay, so that's pretty amazing. Okay, so that's me picking up the camera. We're still recording. Let me get everything shut down, and we'll do a quick conclusion. Man, am I going to miss this drone. What a fun flight that was. Another feature of this drone is it locks the gimbal in place here. When you shut it down, that gimbal is locked in place. That's something new that DJI did with the Mavic 3. So I'm sure you're going to ask, I'm telling you how much I love this drone, and you're going, why did you sell it? Marcus, why would you sell a drone that you love so much? Well, there's a good reason for that, and it's really not a very well-kept secret at this point. There's a new version of the Mavic 3 coming out, the Mavic 3 Pro. So yeah, I'm going to pick up a Mavic 3 Pro. So I sold the Mavic 3, and I sold it to a good friend of mine, and I know he's going to get a lot of enjoyment out of this guy. But I had to do one last flight. Looking forward to that Mavic 3. It'll be interesting. It's going to have 3 cameras on here instead of 2. This one's got that telephoto on top, the 7x telephoto, and then the micro four thirds on the bottom. The new one will still have the micro four thirds. I'm sure a telephoto on the top, whether it's 7x, whatever it is, I don't know. And that other lens that we've seen in the preview pictures, is it a wide angle lens? I don't know. I'm excited to find out, and I'm excited to see what new features DJI gives us with the Mavic 3 Pro. So in any case, it's time to say goodbye to the Mavic 3, and that's exactly what I've done. I just noticed I've got this registered on Part 107, so I have this registered as a commercial drone, so I'll have to go on the FAA website and deregister it. And then additionally, you always want to remember to unbind your drone when you sell it. So I will unbind it. And in fact, one of the things I did before we flew is I had it bound to my RC Pro, and I unbound from that and bound it back to this RC-N1 controller. But anyway, that's about it. Just an amazing piece of technology that DJI gave us with the Mavic 3. I'm sad to see this one go, but I'm really going to be excited to see that new Mavic 3 Pro. I guess that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I so appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And of course, we'll see you on the next one. The DJI Mavic 3 Pro, just an amazing piece of technology. Wonderful drone. See you guys later. Bye now.